The internet is shaking, Hollywood is buzzing, and reality TV will never be the same because Jim Jones just dropped a tape so explosive, so catastrophic, that it ripped the mask right off Chrissy Lampkin and left fans gasping for air. This isn't gossip. This isn't rumor. This is betrayal caught raw and unfiltered. Blasting open secrets Chrissy never wanted the world to see. The footage hit like a nuclear bomb at midnight. And within minutes, hashtags like #Jim exposes Chrissy and #Tapegate were trending worldwide. Fans weren't just watching, they were dissecting, frame by frame. Every damning detail that painted Chrissy not as the loyal, ride-or-die partner we thought she was, but as a woman living a double life. And here's the part that left jaws on the floor. Insiders claim what Jim exposed was just the beginning. Behind closed doors, Chrissy allegedly broke down in a way no cameras have ever captured, sobbing, screaming, and confessing to secrets that make the tape look tame, from whispered betrayals and hidden financial scandals to late-night phone calls and leaked group chats. The fallout is bigger than anyone expected. Chrissy's world is crumbling in real time. Fans are divided into camps, and the industry is bracing for impact. But the scariest part? Sources say there's more. Another tape. Another wave of destruction waiting to drop. So buckle up. Because if you thought the first leak was wild, the real storm is only just beginning. The night Jim Jones' tape hit the internet, it was as if the ground cracked open under Chrissy Lampkin's feet. This wasn't a minor leak, not some background. Rumor fans could dismiss this was an all-out detonation aimed directly at her name, her reputation, and the very empire she had worked decades to build. Blogs lit up like wildfire. Twitter threads multiplied faster than anyone could keep up. And fans across the globe sat frozen, their jaws dropping lower with every frame of the tape. The tape itself was brutal in its precision. Jim didn't ramble. He didn't stumble. He delivered each line like a knife sliding between Chrissy's ribs. He named names. He outlined dates. He painted vivid pictures of nights when Chrissy was allegedly not the woman the public thought she was. She was living double. Jim hissed on the recording, his tone dripping with bitterness. Smiling on TV, acting like the perfect partner, but behind closed doors, lies on top of lies. The first wave of reaction was disbelief. Chrissy had always branded herself as the definition of loyalty. She had stood by Jim through cheating rumors, industry beefs, financial troubles, even his career slumps. If there was one constant in the messy saga of Jim Jones, it was Chrissy ride or die, no matter the cost. So when Jim's tape threatened to flip that entire narrative upside down, fans clung to denial. This has to be fake. One viral tweet read, "Jim would never do her like this." But as more clips spread, denial gave way to panic. In one particularly devastating segment, Jim referenced a mysterious other man, claiming Chrissy had been hiding more than just financial secrets. Ask her who she was meeting in Jersey, Jim said, his words echoing like gunshots through the internet. Ask her why she begged me not to show the receipts. Y'all think she's innocent? Y'all don't know Chrissy like I do. Within minutes, fans were digging through old photos of Chrissy spotted in New Jersey, matching outfits and dates, building timelines like digital detectives. And then came the first leak outside of Jim's tape. A shaky audio recording of Chrissy herself. In the clip, her voice cracked with desperation. "Why would you do this to me?" she cried. "You know what this will do to us." To me, the anguish was raw, unpolished, the kind of vulnerability Chrissy had never let the public see. Clips spread across TikTok like wildfire, with users lip-syncing her breakdown, turning her pain into viral content. What was once sympathy curdled into spectacle? Behind the scenes, insiders painted an even darker picture. According to one anonymous source, Chrissy had been warned weeks earlier that Jim might release the tape. She had allegedly confided in a close friend, texting, "If he drops it, it's over for me." For us, that single phrase for us ignited a storm of speculation. Was she talking about her marriage, a business deal, or something bigger, something involving people beyond her immediate circle? Fan forums lit up with theories. Some wild, some chillingly plausible. The industry couldn't resist jumping into the chaos. Spice, never one to hold her tongue, dropped a cryptic tweet. Not everything that glitters is gold. Truth always comes out. Fans instantly connected the dots, convinced she was shading Chrissy. Yandi fanned the flames even further with an Instagram story that read, "When the mask slips, you finally see the face." She didn't tag anyone, but the timing was enough to send commenters into a frenzy. This is love and hip-hop civil war. One fan wrote, "As the gossip swirled, Chrissy herself was spotted outside a New Jersey hotel. The paparazzi shots were devastating. Oversized sunglasses barely concealing red, puffy eyes. Her hands shaking as she clutched her phone. Her bodyguard, trying to shield her from the flashing cameras. One witness claimed she was pacing in the lobby, whispering into her AirPods, 'He ruined me. He ruined everything.' Within minutes, the photos hit every gossip blog, cementing the image of Chrissy not as the fierce, unshakable woman fans knew, but as someone broken, cornered, and unraveling. But just when the dust seemed ready to settle, another grenade exploded. Screenshots surfaced from a private group chat allegedly tied to Chrissy's closest inner circle. In them, Chrissy appeared to be venting months before the tape dropped. One alleged message read, "If this comes out, I'll never be able to show my face again." Another read, "He knows too much. He'll destroy me if he wants to." Fans dissected every word. It's convinced these messages proved Jim's tape wasn't just revenge, it was reality. The hashtags multiplied. Hashtag Chrissy exposed. Hashtag Tapegate. Hashtag double life. Meme culture turned savage, recycling old clips of Chrissy proposing to Jim on Love and Hip Hop with captions like, "All this time." And she was hiding secrets. The humiliation wasn't just personal, it was public, merciless, and global. And yet, the most chilling part of the entire saga wasn't what Jim had released. It was the whisper that there was more. Insiders began hinting that Jim hadn't emptied the vault. He's holding the real bomb for later. One anonymous producer claimed, "This was just the warning shot. If he drops everything else, Chrissy won't recover." The internet froze in collective horror. What they had already seen was enough to break Chrissy down in public. What could possibly be worse? What else? Was she hiding? What could Jim be saving for the next round? And then, late at night, an anonymous email was sent to multiple gossip outlets. Attached was a grainy screenshot of a file labeled simply Tape 2. No video, no audio, just a glimpse of the file name. But it was enough. Enough to spark fear in Chrissy. Enough to send fans into a frenzy. Enough to leave the world hanging, desperate to know what was coming next. Because if this was only the beginning, the real storm was still on its way. Though, morning after Jim Jones' tape detonated online, the chaos didn't cool down. It doubled, tripled, and spread like wildfire across every corner of the internet. What had started as one man's revenge release was now a cultural event. A public unraveling of Chrissy Lampkin's world in real time. Every gossip blog, every YouTube channel, every Twitter thread had turned into a forensic investigation of Chrissy's secrets. And the more people dug, the uglier it got. The leaked group chat screenshots that surfaced overnight became the centerpiece of the storm. Fans pored over every detail, zooming in on the timestamps, analyzing the emojis, breaking down the tone of Chrissy's words. In one alleged message, she wrote, "We can't let him find out. If he does, it's over for me, for all of us." That single sentence sent the internet into meltdown. Who was him? Who was us? Theories spun out of control. Some fans swore she was referring to her husband. Others believed it was an industry heavyweight she had ties to. And a particularly wild thread claimed she was covering up secrets involving multiple Love and Hip Hop cast members. The ambiguity was gasoline on the fire by mid-morning. A second leak dropped. This time, it wasn't texts, it was audio. A podcast host claimed he'd been sent a private phone recording between Chrissy and one of her closest confidants. Her voice was shaking, drenched in panic. "I begged him not to do this. I begged. He doesn't care if he destroys me. He doesn't care if he destroys everything we built." The audio spread across TikTok with dizzying speed. Users turned it into dramatic reenactments, lip syncs, and memes, some mocking, some sympathetic, all adding to the noise. What should have been a moment of compassion turned into internet theater. Chrissy's breakdown wasn't just private anymore, it was entertainment. Meanwhile, Jim stoked the flames. He didn't deny. He didn't backpedal. He leaned into it. On Instagram, he posted a photo of himself sipping wine, captioned, "The truth hurts. Don't blame me." Within minutes, the comments section became a war zone. Half the fans applauded him for finally exposing Chrissy, while the other half dragged him as cruel and disgusting for humiliating the woman who stood by him for years. But the most telling part, Jim seemed almost smug, while Chrissy's world spiraled out of control. Industry voices couldn't resist piling on. Yandy, still cryptic but deadly with her timing, posted another story. "Energy, don't lie. Masks always slip. Spice, ever the queen of blunt shade, went live. Me Cyan believe all a diss. Me Cyan believe say people out here living one. Way on camera, then living a whole different way behind closed doors. But me not shocked, me ben no." Fans spammed her live with questions about Chrissy. Convinced Spice was throwing daggers without naming names, and then, out of nowhere, Kimbella reappeared. She tweeted simply, "Told y'all years ago." 4 words, that's all it took to reopen old wounds. Immediately, fans dragged up footage of her infamous brawl with Chrissy on Love and Hip Hop, replaying it with captions like, "Kimbella tried to warn us." The internet decided, whether true or not, that Kimbella had predicted this downfall all along. But what was happening behind the scenes was even darker than what the world saw. According to production insiders, Chrissy had a full-blown meltdown. During filming for Love and Hip Hop, she reportedly stormed off set, screaming at producers, accusing them of exploiting her humiliation. "You're letting him kill me on camera," she allegedly yelled, slamming a door so hard it rattled the soundstage. The shoot was temporarily shut down, with cast and crew unsure if Chrissy would even return to finish the season. For a woman, known for her composure and fierce control, this was a devastating crack in her armor. By afternoon, a new leak surfaced, one that made everything worse. An anonymous YouTube channel uploaded a blurry, muffled clip labeled Tape 1.5. The footage wasn't clear, but the voice fans swore belonged to Chrissy could be heard whispering, "We can't let him find out. If he does, it's over." The same line from the group chat, but now in her own voice. Theories exploded again. Who was she protecting? What was so catastrophic that he could never know? Fans speculated about everything from hidden affairs to shady financial deals. The hashtag who is he trended worldwide for hours. The memes turned crueler. One viral TikTok showed Chrissy walking down a red carpet from years ago, overlaid with the text, smiling like she wasn't hiding the world's biggest secret. Another trended with the phrase, "You live by the secrets, you die by the secrets," turning her entire persona into a cautionary tale. Brands began pulling away. A fashion line Chrissy was set to collaborate with quietly cut ties. Event organizers reportedly canceled her upcoming appearance, citing unforeseen circumstances. Even her husband, silent until now, posted a cryptic black screen with the words, "Betrayal cuts deep." Fans seized on it instantly, debating whether it was confirmation that he believed Jim's receipts or a subtle farewell to Chrissy. Either way, the silence between them spoke louder than any statement. And just when the frenzy seemed unbearable, Jim delivered another blow. He posted a cryptic story, a black screen with the words, "Next Friday." No explanation, no context. Just those two words. Fans lost their minds. Was this a countdown to another tape? Tape to reel, and was he about to drop it in less than a week? Blogs scrambled. YouTubers made countdown videos. Twitter filled with speculation. Nightmare wasn't slowing down, it was escalating. Insiders whispered that Jim wasn't bluffing. One anonymous source claimed he had hours of unreleased recordings, phone calls, private conversations, even emails that could annihilate Chrissy's reputation once and for all. The first tape was just the appetizer. The source claimed what's coming next. That's the full meal. And it's not just about her marriage. It's about her past, her money, her real life. For Chrissy, the panic was suffocating. She was spotted again, this time in her car outside her home, crying uncontrollably as security tried to push paparazzi back. The photos went viral under the headline, "From Queen to Collapse." Fans debated whether she was a victim of Jim's cruelty or the architect of her own downfall. But one thing was undeniable. The cracks were visible, and she was unraveling faster than anyone expected. And then came the most chilling twist of all, an anonymous email sent to multiple blogs with a single attachment. A blurry screenshot of a file labeled Tape 2. The subject line read, "This isn't the end." That was it. No details, no video. Just the promise of another bombshell waiting to drop. For Chrissy, it was confirmation of her worst fear, that the destruction wasn't done. The first tape had shattered her image. The second threatened to end her career, her marriage, maybe even her future. And now, the entire world was counting down, waiting for Friday night, waiting for Jim's next move, waiting for the next explosion that could leave nothing of Chrissy standing. Because if the whispers were true, the first leak was only the warm-up. The real storm was still coming. The countdown to Friday night was unbearable. Every blog, every gossip site, every fan forum turned into a ticking clock, dissecting every hint Jim Jones dropped while Chrissy, Lampkin drowned in silence. The hashtag Next Friday became a global obsession. Twitter threads speculated about what kind of receipts Jim still had tucked away. TikTokers made parody skits of Chrissy begging producers not to air her downfall. YouTubers set premieres for live breakdowns the moment the clock hit midnight. It wasn't just a scandal anymore. It was an event, a cultural explosion, a digital guillotine. And Chrissy's head was on the block, and then the night came. At exactly midnight, Jim delivered. His Instagram account posted a link to a shadowy website with one chilling caption: "The truth doesn't hide forever." Fans who clicked were met with a 12-minute video stitched together like a cinematic expose. Unlike the first tape, this one wasn't messy. It was clean, sharp, intentional, a montage of screenshots, audio recordings, and whispered confessions that painted Chrissy in a light darker than anyone could have imagined. The first segment floored everyone. Audio of Chrissy, her voice low, admitting, "He thinks I've been loyal, but if he ever finds out where the money went, it's done." Screenshots of what appeared to be financial transfers flashed across the screen. Blurred account numbers, cryptic email chains, references to hidden side projects. Fans froze the footage, analyzing every detail, convinced Chrissy had been funneling money into secret accounts. Theories exploded. Was she protecting someone else? Funding her own escape plan? Or hiding a betrayal too massive to admit? The second, segment was worse. A phone call recording allegedly captured Chrissy crying to a close friend. "I had to do what I had to do. If I told him the truth about who I was back then, he would have left me years ago." The words hit like a bomb. Who she was back then. What had she been hiding all this time? Theories spun faster than wildfire. Some swore she was talking about another relationship. Others insisted it was about shady ties in the industry, connections, to deals that could ruin more than just her marriage. Within minutes, Who Was Chrissy trended as the #1 Google search worldwide. But the tape didn't stop there. The third act hit the hardest. Blurry footage showed Chrissy in what looked like a hotel lobby, her voice desperate. "We can't let him find out. He'll destroy me, and he'll destroy you too." The words "destroy you too" sent shockwaves. This wasn't just about her anymore. It hinted at other names, other people, other secrets buried under years of silence. Fans went into detective mode, dragging every man she'd been linked to. Every producer, every cast member into the spotlight. Entire Reddit threads lit up with charts connecting Chrissy's past appearances, friendships, and rumors into a tangled web of possible betrayals. By morning, the fallout was unbearable. Paparazzi swarmed Chrissy's home, capturing her storming into a black SUV, oversized sunglasses failing to hide her swollen, tear-streaked face. Blogs plastered the photos, with headlines like, "Chrissy collapses under tape to fall out," and "From First Lady of Love and Hip Hop to Exposed Liar." Fans argued in real time. Was she the victim of Jim's cruelty, or the mastermind of her own undoing? Social media turned savage. Memes mocked her, hashtags dissected her, and TikTok flooded with dramatic edits of her most famous scenes spliced with audio from the tape. One viral video showed Chrissy proposing to Jim years ago, overlaid with her alleged line from the tape, "He doesn't know who I really was back then." It was brutal, merciless, and inescapable. Inescapable. But the reactions from celebrities set the internet ablaze. Remy Ma tweeted, "Masks always slip. Some of us knew." Fans exploded, convinced Remy was confirming Chrissy's guilt. Fat Joe went live, visibly disturbed. "This ain't entertainment. No more. This is somebody's whole life crumbling. Be watching a public execution." Cardi B liked multiple tweets shading Jim for going too far, sparking debates over whether she was subtly defending Chrissy. And Cameron, of course, poured gasoline on the fire, posting a simple laughing emoji with the caption, "Told y'all." Behind the scenes, insiders revealed Chrissy was unraveling. She allegedly locked herself in her hotel room, refusing to eat. Her phone smashed after an outburst of rage. One insider claimed she screamed, "He won't stop until I'm destroyed, until there's nothing left." Producers were panicking. Should they keep filming or shut everything down before Chrissy broke completely? But the damage was already spiraling. A leaked email chain allegedly between Chrissy and a lawyer surfaced late Saturday night, where she begged for help stopping Jim. The lawyer's reply was cold. "Once it's public, there's nothing we can do." Screenshots went viral instantly, fueling the belief that Jim wasn't done. That tape, too, was just another step in his campaign to annihilate her image. And then Jim himself poured gasoline on the flames. He posted a black screen on Instagram with just 2 words, "Part 3, no date, no details," just the chilling promise of another bomb waiting to drop. Fans screamed in disbelief. Blogs crashed under the weight of traffic. Hashtags trended worldwide. Hashtag Tape 3. Hashtag Chrissy exposed. Hashtag Jim vs. Greasy. The internet realized with horror that the nightmare wasn't over. The first tape destroyed her reputation. The second shattered her marriage and raised questions about her past. The third, whatever it contained, could erase her completely. For Chrissy, there was no more running, no more silence. The walls were closing in, and the secrets she spent years burying were clawing their way to the surface. And the scariest part, everyone knew Jim was holding the match to burn the rest of her world down. The cliffhanger was brutal. Chrissy was broken, Jim was grinning, and the entire world was waiting. Would tape 3 end her once and for all? Or would Chrissy finally strike back with a revelation of her own? One thing was certain, the storm was far from over. And there you have it, the most shocking saga yet. But listen closely, because this is the part you cannot afford to miss. What Jim Jones has unleashed isn't just a scandal, it's a demolition of everything Chrissy Lampkin has built over decades. And if his cryptic Part 3 inches warning is real, then everything we've just witnessed, the breakdowns, the meltdowns, the betrayals, was just the warm-up. Imagine that! The first tape shattered her reputation. The second annihilated her marriage and dragged up secrets she prayed would never see the light of day. So what's left for the third? What could possibly be hiding in the shadows that will finish her off for good? You do not want to be the person left in the dark when that bomb drops. That's why right now, before you even blink, hit that like button and let the world know you're locked in. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you Team Jim, applauding him for exposing what needed to be said? Or are you Team Chrissy, standing with her as she drowns in a storm she may not survive? And most importantly, make sure you subscribe with notifications turned on, cause when the next tape hits, and trust me, it's coming, you'll want to be here the very second it miss it, and you'll be scrambling to catch up while the rest of the world moves on without you. Don't let that happen. Stay locked, stay ready, and stay subscribed, because this saga is about to get darker, messier, and more unforgettable than anyone imagined.